All right, James,
Yes.
we're here with you. You are an attorney. You have
right.
been a client with us for how long now?
Since February 2020. So what is that? A year and a half? A year?
So you've been a client for about a year and a half.
Coming up on 2 years. Yeah.
And how much have you grown during this past year and a half?
Well, on a weekly sort of average basis by 51.2%.
51.2% growth.
Yeah.
And what do you do for a living?
I'm an attorney. I do business litigation. So I fight about money.
If people want to look you up, how do they spell your name? How do they find you online then?
Best way to find me online is by typing in thelawyerjames.com. Thelawyerjames.com.
I'm going to thelawyerjames.com. I'm going there right now.
Yeah.
And are you getting more web leads than you used to get?
I actually am. And I had to turn them off because there were too many.
Getting too many leads off the internet?
Too many leads, yeah.
And so tell us, how did you originally hear about us there?
I had a friend of mine who just turned me on to the podcast. I was listening to it for about a year and a half before I called and did a 13-point assessment.
Now, you were listening for a year and a half.
Yeah.
And that's interesting.
Yeah.
And then when you were listening for a year and a half, did you ever laugh?
Oh, man. I mean, yeah, that was just, I mean, you got all the characters, what had happened was, all that good stuff.
Okay. So you had some fun.
But throughout this, today I'm moving back to New York tomorrow. So today's my last day in the office, and I wanted to give you a couple parting gifts.
Oh,
so I know that you come to my desk and steal pens all the time. So I wanted to give you that one. It's brand new. I'll give you another one.
Beautiful pen, by the way.
You want another one?
Thank you. This is incredible. These are some of the best pens ever.
Yeah.
These are incredible,
good, aren't they?
Incredible pens. Where do you buy these pens, James?
So I get them from Staples.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
These are great.
There's another one too.
Oh, hey, thank you.
And you know how I just sold my car and I went to the car dealership, and when I signed the documentation to sell it, the guy handed me one of those pens. I'm like, did you take the pen from me? He's like, no, I use those pens too. And they are perfect. This is in large part why my growth, I think, happened.
Well, yeah, let's talk about this for a second. For anybody out there who says, I have a business and I'm thinking about reaching out to the team Thrive. I thought we'd get your take on what was how would you describe the first business conference that you went to, the first 2-day interactive business workshop? Because the next one we have coming up here is going to be in
December, right?
December 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah.
Right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. How would you describe the 2-day interactive business workshops, which, by the way, folks, you can pay $250 to attend, or you can pay whatever you can afford. James, how would you describe your experience?
Well, first of all, I think it really starts with the parking lot and with what happens when you walk from the parking lot from your car to the door. I mean, you've got drummers out there, flamethrowers, you've got all sorts of fun stuff, very high energy. You got the pinion wood going, and you have also people cheering you as you walk in. It's pretty cool.
What does it feel like to be surrounded by other entrepreneurs when you arrive at the event? What does it feel like to be in the room with 160 to 200 people that own their own company and that are all growing?
Well, so my experience is that they speak the same language and offer different sorts of solutions. Every business is the same. Every business has its issues. Once you iron out those issues using the plan that you develop, it's quite liberating, and that's what we talk about.
And you're kind of a weird case study in that I've never had a client actually move into the office.
Yeah.
For an extended period of time.
Right.
What's been your experience like in Tulsa, Jerusalem? What did you like about it? And tell us about why you're going to be headed back to New York.
Yeah, Tulsa, Jerusalem, it was great. In terms of me personally, I kind of outgrew the city, I think, a little bit. I miss the hustle and bustle of New York. My daughter's there. I haven't seen her in a year and a half over any extended period of time. She came visit me for a week a couple times.
Yep.
But she's 14 and needs her dad and on a regular basis, and I want to be there for her. In terms of coming into the office every day, it's been just a real blessing and a real pleasure. And it's like I just kick myself. I'm 48 years old. I wasted a bunch of time in college and in law school and all that. So if I could rewind it all again, I would go to the school of Thrive.
Now, tell us for the listeners out there, because I think a lot of people get confused about what we do and what we don't do.
Yeah. And
so I'm going to go through the 9 things that we do. And then as I go through these, perhaps you can share with the listeners about how that's helped your business. And that way people can get a good idea of what we do, because there's a lot of coaching out there that's woo-woo. And if you're out there and you're woo-woo, I'm not attacking the woo-woo. I'm not saying just because you're into the woo-woo, I'm not attacking you, but we have 9 things, nine core principles that we believe in, that we focus on here. So let's go with focus, pillar number one, principle number one. The first meeting is free.
Yeah.
James, how is that helpful to know that if somebody goes to thrivetimeshow.com and they schedule their first consultation, they go to I recommend everyone goes to thrivetimeshow.com/EOFire, thrivetimeshow.com/EOFire. That's thrivetimeshow.com/EOFire. How did that help you resolve in your mind that you wanted to do a consultation knowing that the first one was free?
Oh, it was great. There's sort of no risk. We get to see if we like working with each other, talking to each other, see if we have the same sort of business value system. And I think what's come, beyond that and after that time is also the moral value system and political value system as well.
Now, then after that, your next meeting, we still don't charge for those first couple meetings.
Yeah.
So really you're getting 3 meetings for no charge.
It was $1.
Oh yeah, we do charge $1 to reserve your spot.
Yeah.
But why is that helpful for you, knowing that those first couple meetings again are just all part of that $1?
Again, for that same reason, you know what to do, you know how to do it, you know how to teach.
Yeah.
I think a large part of it is seeing if a client knows how to learn, because in order for a business to be successful, you've got to be teachable, you've got to follow the path, and just basically do what you're told. And that to me was pretty interesting because I was 46 or 47 at the time, and my business coach was 22 years old. I was like,
well, and then let's talk about Andrew for a second.
Yeah.
Andrew's wife just had a baby today, by the way.
I was born.
Andrew's been here since
look at that.
he's worked with me on payroll, I think since he was 17 years old.
Yeah.
So he started like working for me as a photographer. Then he went on to do video. He's learned coding. He's learned it all. So he's sort of a mutant.
Yeah.
We're like,
Yes.
Julia and Joe, you have people in their 30s and 40s. Andrew's like the young mutant guy. Unbelievable.
Yes.
Okay. Now the principle number 2, pillar number 2 of the program is that I do that initial assessment with every client myself.
Yep.
Why does that matter for a guy like you who's thinking about reaching out for help?
Well, it's your show, right? And it's your business, and why is it important? That's why it's important for you. Why is it important for me to get the guys at the top, his viewpoints, his experience, and his conversation in his ear?
Now, pillar number 3 is we offer a single plan. So I don't email you every day 14 tips and 18 ideas. And I've been in coaching programs before where they email you 17 tips of the day, 32 podcasts you can't miss, 18 books you got to read this month, 4 new video tips. And to me, it was just overwhelming. I just want to have a single plan. How does having a single plan help you to grow your law firm? Again, and the website is the Lawyer James.
TheLawyerJames.com. Yes, sir.
How does that help you stay on target and grow?
Well, it's not one of the things that I particularly like is I detest email, and the team here does too. I mean, it serves its purpose, but we're not emailing each other all the time,
right?
With all these tips, with all these questions, with all that. And what's helpful with respect to the single plan, that plan is that it's a roadmap, and you just follow the roadmap, go through the roadmap, and it's unambiguous, accessible. You ask questions about it. It's simple.
Now, okay. Now the idea that it's month to month, let's talk about that for a second. I know that you probably haven't, but early in my career, I got roped into long-term contracts on some dumb stuff. Like a printer that I no longer owned, but I'm still paying to have it serviced. Or like a billboard that didn't work, but I was committed for 6 months to it.
Yeah. Sounds like Josh Wilson.
Commercial campaign that I paid for that never worked, but I had to keep paying every month. How does that help you, again, for the entrepreneurs out there? How does that help knowing that it's month to month?
Well, to me personally, it means that you're confident in your services and you don't need to lock somebody in with a year-long contract. And it also offers flexibility of like, look, let's just part as friends if we're going to part. Ooh, what is that?
Well, this is the summary of our coaching program. Here we go.
I'm in range.
Here we go, folks.
Target's coming up.
As a business coach, we got to keep you on. We got to keep you on target.
Stay on target.
Here we go.
Stay on target.
Stay on target.
Stay on target.
Almost there. Stay on target. Almost there.
As an entrepreneur, I mean, if you're not careful, you can get super distracted with all these ideas that come into your mind.
Yeah, but
how has the
what
coaching helped you stay on target?
Yeah. So what I think this is a natural segue into the to-do list.
Oh,
it's the to-do list. That's how you stay on target. You know what you're doing because you're looking at your to-do list.
How often in the meetings or in your mind do you think of the concept of stay on target?
Oh, I don't really think about that.
You really?
No, It's not like all the time, and it's not none of the time.
Terrible. Okay, it's fine. Okay. Now, next is that there's a single weekly meeting. You have one meeting where you know that you're focused on that meeting, and it's going to start on time or right near on time. You know that this is what we're going to do for usually 30 to 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You have somebody 100% focused on you.
Yes.
And the topic of growing your business. How does that help?
Well, it's the accountability call, which is great. You have action items from the last call to the next call, and you got to get your action items done. And it's all about, me bettering my business for me, because the business exists to serve me. And Andrew and the other coaches help their clients do that.
Okay. Now, and the next item here is it's a single point of contact, knowing that you got Andrew you're working with. Now we have a whole team of photographers, videographers, web developers, search engine optimizers, ad managers. But how does that help having one person to talk to, one person to be held accountable by, or to be accountable with, or accountable to? How does that help?
Yeah, so that's great. It's not distracting. It's not like one person taking over at any given point. It's always Andrew all the time. Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Central is our meeting. And it also helps in terms of coordinating all of the work that's done, because you all do the videos, you do photographs, you do web design, you do web development, you do all the stuff, right? You do all this back end stuff. And what's helpful is Andrew, if we need to get something done, he drops it on the agenda, assigns it out, and then by next week it's done. Boom.
Okay. Now what about the focus on massive action? As you know, massive action is a big thing. We're obsessed with big, overwhelming, optimistic momentum. We want to bring the boom. We want to push our clients to get things done quickly, to get things done fast, to focus on massive action as opposed to feelings. Because there are a lot of coaching programs that focus on feelings. And then it becomes about getting stuff done. It becomes about just feelings. How does it help to have a coaching program focused on action as opposed to feelings?
Well, the surefire path to success is taking massive action every day. I have that on a plaque that I put up on my wall in my house, in my home. So, watching you in the office and watching you get so many things done, like I would in the past, for the most part, not all the time, but I would say, okay, I will call that person when I get to my desk. And so then I walk from where I am to my desk. Now I just call that person now. As I'm walking to my desk.
I'm going to miss that about you. I'm going to miss that.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Hey, you know what? Just a thought,
Yeah.
You might want to just come here like one week a month.
Yeah, that's my thought. Yeah, I'm definitely coming back. You know what? Here, I think this is the appropriate time. I've got another gift for you.
You do? Yeah. I'm going to have an emotional meltdown on today's show. James moved to Tulsa, Oklahoma, moved in with the team, became part of the family, and now he's going to be leaving, and it's like just a knife, just twist. Gonna miss James, and James is pretty funny. He's got these one-liners that.
Well, hey, don't sneak peek it.
Okay, I wasn't sorry. I was just
Clay's.
I wasn't looking at your gift. I was looking at your knee.
Clay is obsessed with a few items, like in a really super focused way, and one of the things that he really likes is fire extinguishers.
Oh, I do like fire extinguishers.
I thought I'd give you a fire.
Thank you very much. And by the way, I have a fire extinguisher for every room in my house, and every time that I go to a store like Lowe's or Home Depot, I try to get another one if I can, because it's just you never.
Well, you said another one. Is that
what you said? Nice. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate this. Right. I got 5 blue pens and 2 fire extinguishers. This is the perfect gift. The perfect gift.
All right.
That's the best gift.
All right.
Thank you for that gift. I mean, that's a hot gift right there.
Well, a cooling off gift. We'll put it that way.
Okay. Now, the final thing we do with all of our program here is if you go to thrivetimeshow.com/EOFire. thrivetimeshow.com/EOFire. You can see, or if you go to thrivetimeshow.com and you click on testimonials, at thrivetimeshow.com. I have been doing this since 2006, this being consulting clients.
Yep.
And let me tell you how the coaching program started. I'm growing my business, DJconnection.com, America's largest wedding DJ entertainment company. And the brides who we DJ'd for, we DJ'd primarily for brides and grooms and brides. When we would DJ for them, the mom would pay us, the mom would coordinate, but it was the dad who was kind of the business guy, usually funding the operation. So the dad would pull me aside sometimes. The dad would be a dentist or a doctor or a lawyer. And he would go, how many events did you do last year? I'd say 4,000. 4,000 weddings? How much profit do you make on a wedding? I said, like $150. He says, now, do you own a party rental company too? I said, I do. He said, are you the one organizing this bridal show? I am. Wow. I'm a dentist. how much do you make? We start talking. I said, well, I make $150 a wedding. He says, you're making more than me. And I'm like, this is true. And he says, well, could I hire you? You know? And so one by one, these former fathers of the bride and clients who knew the brides and grooms, they began reaching out, orthodontists and dentists and doctors, chiropractors, many of which are still clients today.
Wow.
14 years later, 13 years later. You know, one of my daughters just got her braces off, and the orthodontist that worked with her, I DJ'd his wedding.
His wedding.
Yeah. And I started working with him as a client before my daughter was born, I believe.
I mean, it's just 16.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, there's a lot going on. There's just a lot there. So all I'm saying is the longevity and the richness of having proven processes and success strategies that work, that allow people with an average mind and great integrity to do well. How does that help? How does that help for you, knowing that we have a proven best practice documents for everything? Everything is documented, all the systems, all the processes. We're not testing theories on you. How does that help?
Oh, you know what? It helps. Like, you just shut up and do it. And I'll give you a perfect example of that. I don't know if you remember, I came into the office on a Saturday and I just, was venting to you. I was like, listen, I lost these 2 sales over the week, and I shouldn't have. And it was a pretty big sale. And then you wrote a sales script for me. And I was like, I have no interest in doing it. I'm not going to ask these questions, but I did. And it is a foolproof, wonderful script that I've even done like in bed, not feeling well. And I closed 2 back-to-back. I just went off the script and I closed 2 sales back-to-back, 15 minutes each.
So we've helped you with your marketing, the search engine optimization, the online ads. We've helped you with the tracking of the numbers.
Yeah.
The sales conversion process. Hiring and firing, managing people. And then you gave me 5 blue pens and 2 fire extinguishers. And I mean this for anybody out there. I feel like we become friends with all of our clients. Yeah. And that to me has been the best part. It's the win-win.
Yep.
Would you agree? Are we officially friends now?
Yes. Yes.
It just happened.
All right. Consummating the
friendship.
There you
go. If anybody out there, don't look into what consummating means. All right. So again, folks, if you're out there looking for an attorney, I can tell you, James has many, many happy clients. I've met many of them. If you're looking for an attorney, that website is thelawyerjames.com, thelawyerjames.com. And if you want to learn more about our coaching, our one-on-one interactive coaching program, you can go to thrivetimeshow.com/EOFire, thrivetimeshow.com/EOFire, or thrivetimeshow.com. Click on testimonials, learn more, schedule your 13-point assessment. We only take on 160 clients because there's only one of me and there's a lot of you. But we do have these interactive 2-day in-person workshops, which are next level.
Fantastic.
I mean, a lot of people tell me it's like a comedy show meets business.
Yeah.
And I would like to take credit for it, but I want to say this. It really is a group effort on the funny part, because I will bring up different clients up to the mic and they have no idea why I'm bringing them up. And then they a lot of times provide some pretty funny observations that everyone can relate to. Because if you've ever been poor and you've gone from poverty to success, and you're even remotely self-aware, there's a lot of dysfunction, a lot of jackassery, a lot of self-deprecation we all had to work through en route to success. And it provides for a lot of comedy when you have irreverent self-deprecation. I mean, so many people get up there and share dumb stuff they used to do. And as you're learning, you're going, oh no, I'm actually doing that.
I started Born Standing Up, that book by Steve Martin. Isn't that the one that you?
It's a great book.
You recommend? Yeah.
Yeah, Born Standing Up. Now, again, folks, if you want to get your tickets, we cap that thing at about 200 people. We don't have thousands and thousands of people like we do on the Reawaken America tour. So if you want to get your tickets, you want to claim that now. It's December 2nd and 3rd, right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, December 2nd and 3rd. And if you're watching this event sometime after December 2nd or 3rd, we do one almost every, 2 months or so, every month. It just depends on, sometimes we do them once a month, but there's at least 6 a year. But you can request tickets by going to thrivetimeshow.com. That's thrivetimeshow.com. James,
yes,
it's great working with you, my friend. Thank you for the 2 fire extinguishers and the 5 blue pens.
Yeah.
And I just want to remind everybody out there, James smells terrific. Can we end with a boom?
Yeah.
Okay, here we
Let's
go.
do it.
We like to end each and every show with a boom, because boom stands for big, overwhelming, optimistic momentum. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom. All right, Thrive Nation, on part 1 of today's edition of the Thrive Time Show, we're interviewing you, James.
Yeah.
Who you've been a client for about 1.5 years.
Oh, coming up on 2 years.
Coming up on 2 years.
February.
Lots of successes. And now on part 2 of today's show, we're going to be interviewing Cody Gordon, who apparently likes to wear his earphones in one ear. Is that your good ear, Cody? Is that the plan?
Yep. Yeah. That's a good ear.
All right.
Makes
Okay.
for a clear connection. Yeah.
Now, what do you do for a living? What do you do there? To tell the listeners out there, what's your website and what do you do?
Yeah. Our website is extractenvironmental.com, XTRACT. We are an asbestos abatement company. So we're typically following behind restoration companies, solving disasters in people's homes when asbestos surprises them.
James, I don't know if this is a conflict of interest, this interview, but don't you like asbestos?
I do. Yeah, I wrap myself in it.
Okay. For anybody out there that doesn't know, what is asbestos? For anybody out there, people might have heard the phrase a little bit. What is it? Why is it so harmful?
Yeah, asbestos it's just a natural mineral that was it's really a miracle material that they've used in thousands of building products over the years. It's since been found out that it causes lung cancer and mesothelioma and some other various diseases. It takes about 30 years to manifest. It's a harmful material, harmful mineral.
How did you get involved in the business? Did you find yourself having an odd interest in asbestos as a young kid? Were you really fascinated by it?
No, not at all. Actually, it was simply a business that I learned. My wife and I lived in the western part of Colorado, and needed to transplant over to the Front Range for more opportunities. And it was just something that kind of fell in my lap. I'd been in construction, roofing, electrical, kind of bounced around, learning different trades. And this was one that just paid well and had some opportunity for advancement. And so I just kind of fell into it, and I learned the industry, which, I just knew I wanted to own a business. And this was just one that kind of was easy to fall into. That's the story. Didn't love asbestos or anything.
And you have to wear suits, right? When you do the asbestos removal, the technicians have to go in there and wear these like Darth Vader suits and, from head to toe be all wrapped up. Now, do those suits also double as personal protective equipment? Is that acceptable personal protective equipment? When you go into a restaurant that requires a mask or something?
Oh yeah, you just wear that in the restaurant.
Yeah, that's funny. I've actually forgotten a mask before, running into a store, picking up my takeout, didn't have a mask, so I had to throw on my respirator. But yep, that doubles as that.
Unbelievable. Okay, so how did you originally hear about us there? How did you hear about the Thrive Time show and the consulting services that I provide there?
I've avidly listened to another podcast that you advertise on. Yeah. And I heard you multiple times on there, and each time I feel like I got closer to picking up the phone, but just never thought my business was in a place where I could afford it. Come to find out, it wasn't even. You guys are very affordable. And so one day I decided to pick up the phone, and it was as easy as that. You called me right back, and I jumped on a call with you. We went through kind of just the basics of my company. You gave me a business plan, and the rest is history. It's been almost a year.
Now, have you had some growth? Are you having some growth? Are you up maybe 5% or 10%, or what kind of growth are you seeing so far?
Well, I think since we've started with you guys, our company, since that time period, our company's probably grown about 70, 80%.
Wow. And so, the one thing I want to point out there, I want to point this out, and I want to get your take on this, Cody. So often in business, before I got out of the doom loop, I was 17, focused on growing my business, and I'm just staying on target. I'm going. And then somebody sends me an email or tells me about a book that's a new approach, a new strategy, a new way to approach. And so then you're going, I was gaining traction, growing the DJ business. I've got about 20 disc jockeys working for me. I'm 20 years old, 21 years old. I got 20 DJs working for me. And then there's a new idea, and you try the new idea. It's not a proven idea. Distraction. It's not a proven idea. It is a distraction. Yeah. So you try the new idea, Next thing you know, it leads to another workshop, another seminar, another book, and everything. And then you find at the end of the year, you go, man, I'm back to where I was. That was expensive. And you keep doing that. And eventually, about the age of 22, 23, I discovered you got to learn the proven path and then follow the proven path. How helpful has it been for you, Cody, having a proven path that you can stay on and be led down on a weekly basis, as opposed to, moving based upon guesswork?
Yeah, absolutely helpful. There's a lot of, we've noticed a lot of different things that we've implemented while working with you guys that have helped us tremendously. So yeah, it's been super helpful. Of course, we try some new things, but
yeah.
this keeps us on just one path. We're on a proven path. So, and it's tinkering here or there. It's not, like you said, it's not reinventing the wheel. There's no sense in that when you've got a proven system. And so.
Have you and your wife been out to a workshop yet? Have you guys come out to one of the 2-day interactive business workshops?
My partner and myself have, yeah.
How would you describe that for anybody? Because, we just announced that we're going to have our next one on December 2nd and 3rd, and ticket requests are flying in right now. How would you describe the experience at your first interactive Thrive Time Show workshop?
It was good. It was super informative. We went through your book, and my business partner and I, we learned a lot. And we from that conference, we went back and started implementing some of the things you went over. It's a shot of inspiration. You are who you surround yourself with, and when you go to conferences like yours, you're surrounded with other entrepreneurs, other people with dreams and their own fires lit. So sometimes just leaning into those people, surrounding yourself with them, you come back and you're re-inspired, and gives you a little bit more energy to put towards your business.
Final question I would have here for you today is you have been in the program for a while, and you're implementing the Dream 100 system. Now we teach the Dream 100 to a lot of clients. Every business is a little bit different. I'd say 90% is about the same, but there are some clients that say, Clay, I have an auto auction and I want to know, how did Dr. Z grow his auto auction? And I say, well, we call it the 3-legged marketing stool, but you want to have 3 proven marketing systems working simultaneously. And I tell them a big part of the marketing system for the auto auction is implementing the Dream 100. And they say, what's the Dream 100? I said, well, you make a list of the 100 top clients that you want to get, your ideal and likely buyers, the biggest, best buyers that you want to get. If you landed those deals, James, it would change your life.
Yeah.
And then you want to call them all until they cry, buy or die. And they say, what do you say? And I said, what you do is you call them and say, boop, 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 boop. Hey, who do you use to buy your cars from? What auto auction do you buy from? And the used car dealer says, well, I buy most of my cars from this company. And you say, well, on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you with them? 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. And they say, like a 7. And you go, well, if you came out and tried things at our auto auction, I think you would love it. We'd like to give you a no-brainer offer to come out the first time. You can buy a car from the auto auction for as little as $1 over invoice, or something like that. And the idea is you just keep doing it, and eventually you start landing some big accounts. And we teach that system over and over, but there is rarely an opportunity where we teach the system and a person like Cody emerges and says, I'll do it. And they do it right away, and they have quick wins with it. Cody, have you landed any deals from the Dream 100? Or just tell us, how's the Dream 100 system working for you?
Yeah, I mean, basically the Dream 100 program, it just keeps you consistently in front of your, like you said, your dream clients. So you just keep putting yourself out there in front of them continuously, weekly. How you set it up the way that works best for you, but for me, it's weekly. And it's not just the Dream 100, but it's your whole program that you put in place. You're getting us on top of Google, getting us Google reviews. All of this working together, it allows me to go out with this Dream 100 program, and now I have a reputation to then back myself when I'm telling these customers why they should use us. It's so after just 2 weeks of implementing this Dream 100 program, we acquired 5 new accounts, which
Nice.
for us is restoration companies who were their preferred vendor, and they send us all of their work. So it was huge. Yeah, it's huge to be consistent and have a program to follow, not just winging it, I guess.
James, what final question do you have for Cody before we wrap up today's show? Where a lot of times, James, you like to intimidate our guests. You like to ask them tough questions that leave them upset and discombobulated. What question do you have for Cody here?
I guess discombobulated is better than being disemboweled, but
wow, that is true. Yeah.
So you work with Andrew, right? Is that
I do?
Yeah, I work with him too. What's your favorite thing about the program and about working with Andrew?
Just the accountability. I like to think that I'm fairly disciplined, but I still catch myself procrastinating things or putting things off, and Andrew's always there every week to kind of jump and say, hey, let's, what did we plan for last week? What did you get done? Why didn't you get it done? Just a level of accountability. Nobody wants to show up to a meeting and be unprepared or didn't do their part. And Andrew's energy it feeds me. I'm a lower energy person, but he pops on a call and he explodes with energy, and I appreciate that. He's just he's a good coach. He doesn't weigh in too much on the negatives, and just kind of always brings a positive loud energy.
Do you know he's a dad now?
I hear he's got one on the way. I didn't know he was actually the baby was born.
The baby's here now.
Yeah.
How many kids do you have, Cody?
I've got 2. I've got a 4-year-old and a 8-month-old.
Wow. Okay. Well, you gonna have any more kids on the way, or are you done with the 2? Or?
Well, I guess I'd have to consult my wife. She wants another one. I think I could focus a little more on my business,
Okay.
But kids are beautiful. So
anybody out there wants to know how to procreate. I have 5 kids, and I have a proven strategy for that I don't talk about.
And where are you located?
Colorado. Yeah, Fort Collins, Colorado, northern Colorado.
Gotcha.
Well, brother, I appreciate you joining us here. What's the final thing you want to say to any of the listeners out there that are contemplating coming out to a workshop, maybe scheduling a one-on-one free consultation? What are your thoughts for anybody out there listening right now?
If you're struggling with your business, or even if you're thriving, we weren't necessarily struggling at all. We've always grown, but working with you guys has given us a much clearer path to follow. It's helped me cut a lot of shortcuts that you guys have already worked out. I don't have to learn those on my own. And you guys are affordable. You're a full marketing team. You built our website, a beautiful website. You've helped us rank on Google. It's worth every penny. And I know I have 2 business partners, and they're both thrilled with where the company has gone while working with you guys.
Now, I will say this, folks, as far as pricing goes, as of the time of this recording, October 11th, what we do to 2021, we charge $1,700 a month, 1,700 per month. And how I came up with that price point is I like to operate at a 20% profit margin for my companies, if I can, 20%. So $340 a month is what we're making per client. And and I like to do it that way. Also, I like it to be, I wanted our program to be less money than it would cost to hire a $10 an hour employee. A minimum wage employee. I mean, if you hire a minimum wage employee today and you pay them 4.3 weeks a month, meaning you pay them all month, and you throw in just the minimum costs of an employee, I mean, insurance, taxes, et cetera, it's going to set you back $2,500 a month. And so we want this to be, it's like you have a whole team of business ninjas. You have a proven plan and a team to help you execute the plan, some accountability, some motivation, some training, some workshops, all right there for you. And Cody, we're super honored to serve you and your family out there, Team Gordon. And should you wish to have more kids, I'm buying Andrew a bunch of diapers right now. So let me know, because I'm having some of the office staff. Seriously, right now, go get diapers for Andrew. So if you just let me know, give me like a 9-month in advance notice. I can have them go ahead and get some right now before the inflation causes the cost of the diapers to go up. We're printing a lot of money as a country, so the cost of the diapers will go up due to inflation. So just give us about a 9 month.
So you're stockpiling diapers now?
Well, I'm just saying this. I'm doing this for Andrew. And we'll just stop by the store, Cody. You just tell me. We'll pick up some extra diapers. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care, brother. Bye.
All right. You too. Bye.
The Thrive Time Show, 2-day interactive business workshops, are the highest and most reviewed business workshops on the planet.
You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it, it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot-coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, but I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.